Your job uses your skills, but self-work builds your character. And this is a truth most people realize far too late in life. Skills are what you are paid for, what appears on your resume, what gets measured in performance reviews. Character is what you carry home with you, what shows up when no one is watching. What decides how you respond when things don't go your way? Skills can get you hired, promoted, and praised, but character decides whether you remain peaceful, grounded, respected, and fulfilled while doing that work. Many people invest years sharpening their skills, upgrading their degrees, learning new tools, chasing certifications, but spend almost no time working on patience, humility, emotional intelligence, discipline, gratitude, or self-awareness. They become highly skilled professionals with fragile inner worlds, successful on paper, but exhausted inside. A job trains you to do things. Self-work trains you to be someone, and who you are eventually matters more than what you do. Two people can have the same job, the same salary, the same designation, yet live completely different inner lives. One feels constantly anxious, insecure, and angry. The other feels calm, purposeful, and balanced. The difference is rarely skill. It is character. Character determines how you handle pressure, how you treat people when stressed, how you respond to failure, and how you carry success without arrogance. Without self-work, success magnifies flaws instead of healing them. Many people confuse productivity with progress. They are busy all day, meeting deadlines, answering emails, solving problems, but they never pause to ask what kind of person they are becoming in the process. Are they becoming more patient or more irritable, more compassionate or more cynical, more grounded or more restless? The job keeps moving forward, but the self quietly deteriorates. This is why some people reach impressive positions yet feel empty, disconnected, or bitter. Their skills evolved, but their inner life remained neglected. Self-work is uncomfortable because it forces you to confront patterns you would rather ignore. A job rarely asks you to look at your ego, your fears, your insecurities, or your emotional wounds. It rewards output, not introspection. But life does not operate by the same rules. Life tests character constantly. It tests how you react when you are misunderstood, how you treat those who cannot benefit you, how you behave when recognition is missing, and how you cope when plans fall apart. Without self-work, these moments feel overwhelming. With self-work, they become opportunities to grow. Character is built in moments that do not show up on your resume. It is built when you choose honesty over convenience, kindness over dominance, discipline over comfort. It is built when you pause instead of reacting, when you listen instead of defending, when you accept responsibility instead of blaming circumstances. These choices shape who you are far more than any promotion ever could. A job can teach you efficiency. Self-work teaches you wisdom. Many people place their identity entirely in their profession. They say, I am my job. When the job goes well, they feel worthy. When it struggles, they feel broken. This fragile identity creates anxiety because jobs are temporary, markets change, industries evolve, and roles disappear. Self-work creates an identity that is stable. When you work on your character, your sense of worth is not tied to titles or income. You know who you are beyond what you do. This inner stability allows you to adapt, learn, and grow without fear. A job rewards results. Character rewards resilience. Results are visible. Resilience is silent. When you lose a job, face rejection, or experience failure, skills alone cannot carry you. Character carries you. The ability to stay calm, to reflect instead of panic, to learn instead of collapse, comes from inner work. This is why two equally skilled people can experience the same setback and have completely different outcomes. One gives up, becomes bitter, and blames the world. The other recalibrates, learns, and moves forward stronger. Self-work also transforms how you relate to others at work. Many conflicts in professional environments are not technical problems, but emotional ones. Ego clashes, insecurity, miscommunication, and lack of empathy create friction. When you work on yourself, you become less reactive, less defensive, and more understanding. You learn to separate feedback from personal attack, You respond instead of react. This not only improves relationships but also enhances leadership. People naturally trust and follow those who are emotionally grounded. Character determines how power changes you. Skills can bring authority, but character decides whether that authority becomes wisdom or arrogance. Without self-work, power amplifies ego. With self-work, power amplifies responsibility. History is full of skilled individuals who failed because their character could not handle success. And it is also full of ordinary individuals who became extraordinary because their character could. Handle responsibility with humility. Working on yourself is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming aware. Awareness of your triggers, habits, strengths, and weaknesses. When you know yourself, you stop being controlled by unconscious patterns. You notice when anger arises, when jealousy creeps in, when fear clouds judgment. This awareness gives you choice. Without it, you are driven by impulses and emotions you don't understand. A job rarely gives you this clarity. Self-work does. Many people postpone self-work, telling themselves they will focus on inner growth once they are successful, settled, or free. But self-work is not a reward for success. It is the foundation of sustainable success. Without it, achievements feel hollow. With it, even ordinary days feel meaningful. When you develop character, your work becomes an expression of who you are rather than a compensation for what you lack. Self-work teaches you to find fulfillment beyond applause. Jobs often condition people to chase validation through praise, promotions, and recognition. When validation disappears, motivation collapses. Character-based fulfillment is different. It comes from alignment with values, from knowing you acted with integrity, from inner peace rather than external approval. This kind of fulfillment is stable. It does not fluctuate with opinions or outcomes. Your job can end. Your skills can become obsolete. Your character stays with you everywhere. It influences your health, relationships, decisions, and peace of mind. It shapes how you handle aging, loss, and change. No organization trains you for these realities. Only self-work does. This is why investing in character is not optional. It is essential. Working on yourself also sharpens your skills indirectly. When your mind is calm, focus improves. When emotions are regulated, decision-making becomes clearer. When ego is managed, learning accelerates. Self-work does not compete with professional growth. It enhances it. People with strong inner discipline and clarity often outperform those who rely solely on technical competence. Character is revealed in small daily choices. Choosing consistency over shortcuts. Choosing responsibility over excuses. Choosing growth over comfort. These choices compound quietly over time, shaping a person who can handle success with grace and failure with dignity. No job description includes this training. It is a personal commitment. Ultimately, working on yourself more than your job is about remembering that your life is bigger than your profession. Your job is a role you play. Your character is who you are. Roles change. Character remains. When you prioritize self-work, your job becomes one meaningful part of a balanced life rather than the sole source of identity and worth. You stop chasing success to fill inner emptiness and start using work as a platform to express inner strength, values, and purpose. When skills and character grow together, work becomes fulfilling rather than draining. Success becomes peaceful rather than stressful, and life feels integrated rather than fragmented. And when the inevitable challenges arrive, as they always do, it is not your job that will steady you, not your title that will comfort you, not your income that will guide you, but the depth of character you quietly built along the way. Careers change faster than values and habits, and this truth quietly explains why so many people feel lost when their professional life shifts. A career feels solid when you are inside it. The routines, the income, the identity, the sense of direction all create an illusion of permanence. You wake up every day knowing where to go, what to do, and who you are supposed to be. Over time, this structure becomes comforting. You begin to believe that this role will last forever. But careers are built in external systems, markets, technologies, organizations. Trends and external systems are always changing. What feels stable today can become irrelevant tomorrow. Values and habits, on the other hand, are internal. They move slowly, but they endure. people often invest years building a career while neglecting the values and habits that sustain them when that career changes. They learn how to meet targets, impress managers, and compete with colleagues, but they forget to build patience, adaptability, humility, and self-discipline. When the job changes or disappears or no longer fulfills them, they are left without an inner compass. The shock is not just financial or professional. It is emotional and psychological. They ask, who am I now? That question feels terrifying when identity was tied entirely to a role that no longer exists. Values act like roots. Careers are branches. Branches grow, shift, and sometimes break, but roots determine whether the tree survives storms. A person with strong values, integrity, perseverance, responsibility, compassion, can adapt to new roles, new industries, and new challenges. A person without them struggles even when opportunities appear. Habits work the same way. A disciplined person carries discipline into any field. A curious person keeps learning regardless of the job. A resilient person recovers from setbacks no matter where they occur. These qualities outlive any single career path. The modern world accelerates this reality. Technology changes faster than human psychology. Skills that were valuable a decade ago may be obsolete today. Entire professions disappear while new ones emerge overnight. People who built their identity solely on a specific skill or role feel threatened by this pace of change. But those who invested in values and habits experience change differently. They may feel uncertainty, but not collapse. They trust their ability to learn, adapt, and rebuild because they have done the inner work required to handle transition. Habits shape how you respond when certainty disappears. When routines break, habits take over. If your habit is panic, avoidance, or self-doubt, change becomes overwhelming. If your habit is reflection, learning, and disciplined action, change becomes manageable. Careers offer structure, but habits provide stability. That stability does not depend on titles or income. It depends on how you show up for yourself every day. Values guide decisions when the path is unclear. When a career is stable, decisions feel straightforward. When it changes, choices multiply and confusion grows. Should I switch fields? Should I take a risk? Should I start again? Should I settle? In these moments, values matter more than advice. Advice is external. Values are internal. They help you decide what matters, what you are willing to sacrifice, and what you refuse to compromise. Without values, decisions become reactive, driven by fear rather than clarity. Many people realize too late that they pet their habits around their job instead of shaping their job around their habits. They wake up early only because work demands it, not because they value discipline. They stay organized only because systems force them to, not because they cultivated order. They communicate professionally only in office settings, not in personal relationships. When the job changes, these behaviors disappear, revealing that they were borrowed, not owned. Habits that belong to you stay with you even when external pressure is removed. Values also protect you from becoming bitter when careers disappoint. Every career eventually does. Promises are broken. Efforts go unnoticed. Politics interferes. Growth slows. When identity is tied only to career progress, disappointment turns into resentment. But when values are strong, disappointment becomes a lesson rather than a wound. You may feel hurt, but you do not lose your sense of self. You understand that your worth is not determined by one organization's decisions. Habits quietly shape character over time. Small daily choices, how you speak to people, how you manage time, how you handle stress accumulate. Careers may reward or punish you unpredictably, but habits reward you consistently. A habit of learning keeps you relevant. A habit of reflection keeps you grounded. A habit of gratitude keeps you peaceful. These habits do not depend on job security. They create inner security. When careers change faster than values and habits, those without inner foundations feel constantly anxious. They chase trends, certifications, and titles, hoping to stay ahead. There is nothing wrong with learning new skills, but without inner stability, learning becomes frantic. It is driven by fear of falling behind rather than love for growth. Values slow you down in a healthy way. They remind you why you are working, not just what you are working on. A career gives direction for a phase of life. Values give direction for life itself. Careers answer the question, what do you do? Values answer the question, how do you live? Habits answer the question, how do you show up every day? When these answers are aligned, life feels coherent. When they are not, even success feels hollow. Many people reach a stage where their career no longer excites them, but they do not know how to change because they never built the habit of listening to themselves. They followed paths defined by society, family expectations, or financial pressure. Without self-awareness, they confuse stability with fulfillment. Values help you recognize when it is time to evolve. Habits help you act on that recognition. Without chaos, careers also. Influence social status, and social status can distort priorities. People start making choices to protect image rather than integrity. They stay in roles that drain them because leaving might look like failure. Strong values prevent this trap. They remind you that inner peace matters more than appearances. Habits give you the courage to walk away from what no longer aligns. When people retire, lose jobs, or change directions later in life, the difference between those who thrive and those who suffer often lies in values and habits. Those who invested only in career feel empty when it ends. Those who invested in inner growth experience transition as a new chapter, not an ending. They know how to structure their days, care for their mind, and find meaning. Beyond productivity, values also shape how success changes you. Without values, success inflates ego. With values, success deepens responsibility. Habits shape how success sustains you. Without healthy habits, success leads to burnout. With them, success becomes sustainable. Careers may accelerate, but values regulate pace. Habits maintain balance. The irony is that working on values and habits often improves careers indirectly. Employers trust people with integrity. Teams rely on people with consistency. Leaders emerge from those with self-discipline and emotional maturity. But when these qualities are developed only to advance a career, they feel hollow. When they are developed for life, careers benefit naturally. Careers will continue to change, whether we are ready or not. Industries will rise and fall. Titles will lose meaning. Roles will evolve. Values and habits, when nurtured, become anchors. They keep you steady when external conditions shift. They help you reinvent yourself without losing yourself. They allow you to face uncertainty with curiosity. Other than fear, in the end, careers are chapters, not the book. Values are the theme. Habits are the writing style. When the chapter ends, the story continues. Those who understand this do not panic when change arrives. They adapt, learn, and move forward with quiet confidence, knowing that while careers may change fast than values and habits, it is the slower things that ultimately carry us through life. Inner growth determines how far outer success can go, because success is not just about reaching a height. It is about being able to stay without losing yourself. Many people reach impressive positions quickly, but very few are able to sustain peace, balance, and clarity once they arrive. The reason is simple. Outer success grows faster than inner capacity. When inner growth is neglected, success becomes heavy instead of fulfilling, stressful. Instead of joyful and isolating, instead of meaningful, outer success is visible. People see the achievements, the money, the recognition, the lifestyle. Inner growth is invisible. No one applauds patience, emotional maturity, humility, or self-awareness. Yet these invisible qualities decide whether success becomes a blessing or a burden. Without inner growth, success amplifies weaknesses. Ego grows louder. Fear of losing status increases. Comparison intensifies. Pressure multiplies. What once felt like a dream slowly turns into a source of anxiety. Inner growth shapes how you handle pressure. As success grows, expectations rise. People expect more results, quicker decisions, stronger leadership. If the inner world is weak, pressure creates panic. If the inner world is strong, pressure creates focus. Two people can face the same responsibility. One feels crushed. The other feels challenged. The difference is not intelligence or skill. It is inner strength. Success also tests emotional regulation. Praise can inflate ego. Criticism can wound deeply. Failure can shake confidence. Without inner growth, emotions control behavior. A small setback feels like a personal attack. A small win feels like proof of superiority. This emotional instability limits how far success can go, because leadership, trust, and respect require consistency. Inner growth creates emotional balance, allowing a person to remain steady regardless of external fluctuations. Many people chase success believing it will fix their insecurities. They think more money will bring confidence, more recognition will bring self-worth, more power will bring peace. But success does not heal inner wounds. It exposes them. If insecurity exists, success magnifies it. If anger exists, success legitimizes it. If emptiness exists, success highlights it. Inner growth is the healing process that prepares you to carry success without being damaged by it. Relationships are another area where inner growth determines the limits of success. As people rise professionally, their relationships are tested. Time becomes scarce. Stress increases. Ego interferes. Without inner growth, people become impatient, emotionally unavailable, or dismissive. Success may continue outwardly, but relationships suffer quietly. Over time, loneliness replaces joy. Inner growth teaches empathy, listening, and humility, allowing success to coexist with healthy relationships. Inner growth also determines ethical boundaries. Success brings choices that test integrity. Shortcuts, compromises, power plays, and moral gray areas appear. Without strong inner values, people justify harmful decisions in the name of growth. This may accelerate success temporarily, but it erodes trust, reputation, and self-respect. Eventually, the cost becomes too high. Inner growth anchors decisions in values, ensuring that success does not come at the expense of character. Sustainability is impossible without inner growth. Burnout is not caused by hard work alone. It is caused by working without emotional balance, purpose, and self-awareness. People who ignore their inner life push relentlessly, driven by fear, comparison, or validation. Their success grows, but their energy declines. Inner growth teaches pacing, boundaries, and self-care. It allows success to be sustained rather than survived. Inner growth also shapes adaptability. The world changes. Markets shift. Roles evolve. Success today does not guarantee relevance tomorrow. Those who rely only on external achievements struggle to adapt. Those who invest in inner growth develop resilience, curiosity, and humility. They are willing to learn, unlearn, and evolve. This adaptability allows success to continue in new forms rather than ending abruptly. Confidence rooted in inner growth is different from confidence rooted in achievement. Achievement-based confidence collapses when results decline. Inner confidence remains stable because it is based on self-knowledge and acceptance. People with inner confidence take risks without desperation. They fail without losing self-respect. They succeed without arrogance. This emotional stability expands the ceiling of success. Inner growth also affects how success is experienced internally. Two people may earn the same income and hold the same position. One feels constant stress, dissatisfaction, and emptiness. The other feels gratitude, purpose, and calm. The difference lies in inner alignment. Success without inner growth feels hollow because it lacks meaning. Inner growth gives context to achievement, transforming success from a trophy into a tool for contribution. Leadership is impossible without inner growth. People may follow authority, but they trust character. Without self-awareness, leaders become reactive, defensive, and controlling. With inner growth, leaders become calm, fair, and inspiring. Their success expands because people willingly support them rather than merely obeying them. Inner growth determines how you respond when success slows down. Every journey has plateaus. Without inner strength, plateaus feel like failure. People panic, overwork, or give up. With inner growth, plateaus are seen as phases of reflection and recalibration. This perspective prevents impulsive decisions that damage long-term success. Ultimately, outer success is like water poured into a container. Inner growth is the size and strength of that container. A small container overflows quickly. A strong container holds more without breaking. If inner growth, H does not expand, outer success spills into stress, arrogance, fear, and dissatisfaction. This is why the most fulfilled people are not always the most successful by external standards, but the most balanced internally. And the most enduring success belongs to those who grow inwardly, as fast as they grow outwardly, understanding that achievements may open doors, but inner growth determines how far you can walk through them without losing peace, purpose, and humanity.